Say it's bad, motherfucker.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
I am Tracey.
I always want to say I'm Kim Kardashian.
Why would you want to say that exactly?
I don't know.
I would want to say that I'm just about anyone else.
I'm Carol, who's been out for a while at the pub.
I was at a debate for my friend who's running for our mayor of town.
And we're from my Outlander Purgatory.
We are from my Outlander Purgatory. How are y'all this evening? Carol, how are you?
I'm swell. Tracy, and yourself?
I'm good. Are you having a good week?
I'm having a great week.
Good. Awesome. I'm having a busy week, but, you know, it is what it is, whatevs. So, Outlander, episode 14/114, depending on whether you're like the rest of the world or Ron Moore.
Oh, dear God, no one cares what number the episode.
Oh my God, shut up! Just 2 seconds ago, you're like, can I talk about something that has nothing to do with Outlander on camera?
Okay.
Whatevs. It's called, what is it? It's called The Search, right? This episode?
Watch. I don't know. It was last week.
You know, okay, I have to tell you guys a story. So, Carol's like to me yesterday, she's like, okay, our videos are too long and we have to make them shorter.
Right? Too long.
And I was like, okay. So, and I was like, but I'm not going to have time to watch this again. And I hate going off of just one viewing. And because I like to take notes, because I really think better starting to finish.
Because the
like,
world
I'll take notes.
Going to stop. If
and I'm having,
Tracey
again...
don't do 2 viewings of Outlander this week.
I do. Because I need to give the people what they need, what they require from us. And that takes 2 viewings.
That's called a short video. That's
and
okay,
I'm relying
Easter
on the
egg.
again,
Are we calling them puppets or marionettes?
Okay. All right. Are we going there? So, okay. It's episode 114 to watch. Before we talk about that, and I do want to talk about that, in general, what did you think?
I think I'm scared shitless. That's what I think. I think that before I turned it on, I was freaking out in my head. I'm freaking out. I've used it in my blog before. I always use that Jesus at the Mount of Olives reference. I know what is before me, and I'm terrified. And now, after seeing it, I know it's next week. And I'm going to spend this whole week. I never in my life thought I would be like this, but I'm a mess.
I'm drinking Chardonnay, first of all, and you're drinking something. Because I forgot to say that. See what happens when I don't take notes, you guys? Oh, you had that last week. And I think I had this last week, too, so we're very boring. I loved every minute of this episode. Every minute. This episode... definitely. Certainly top 3 with Garrison Commander and whatever the Back to the Stones one is called. By the Prick of My Thumbs? I don't know, whatever. I loved every minute of it. I thought that this is kind of, I think a lot of non-book readers are going to be like, I don't get this episode. It's kind of weird. Like, what? What's up with Claire singing? This is a very, unusual part of the book, too. And I think that this is possibly the best adaptation of the book so far this season.
That is awesome. I think that I feel like for the very first time in the series, and what episode was this? 14? 14 episodes, and this is the first one that I feel like I'm right back to the book, Claire's point of view. I feel I was overcome with anxiety over the fact of where is Jamie. And I have to throw in something kind of funny. I was like, where is Jamie? And Tom was like, where are my dragons?
Where are my dragons?
So we both were like, Claire needs to find Jamie, like, what's her name?
Like Khaleesi needs. Well,
Like
she knows where her
Khaleesi-
dragons are.
Like, Khaleesi needs to know where are her dragons.
She only is missing one dragon right now. The other two were locked in the dungeon.
That was a bad dragon. All right, so seriously,
okay, I loved this episode. I loved it. I can't, and I'll be, like I said, very curious to see if other people liked it. I loved it. I want to marry it and, like, you know, buy it a big house in the hills.
I just didn't know if they were going to go there as far as not even having a flashback of Jamie, and damn if they didn't go right on there.
So what do you mean? Like, where?
No.
Like flashback of no. Well, that's what I was going to say. There's no Jamie in the episode.
It was new moon times 10.
It totally was new moon.
There
was new moon.
Jamie Fraser to be found anywhere.
It is a Jamie-free episode. And
yes,
I gotta say...
And going into it, I was like, I really hope that they're going to have like a flashback or something. But coming out of it, I was like, that was awesome. Because I'm more sick now than I was when I started watching.
Not seeing him makes the dread more real and more awful. I completely agree.
Right.
Also, this episode, it was really close to the book. The things that they changed were kind of like, I think made it better. And there were parts where I knew that were right from the book, that I knew exactly what was going to happen, and I was still on the edge of my seat, like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Do you know what I mean? Like, that is the mark of a good book. That is the mark of a good adaptation.
Right.
So yeah, it's very cool. I wonder if it's coincidental that, like, two of my favorite episodes, this one and Garrison Commander, there's hardly any Jamie. It's a little weird. Also, maybe coincidental or not, New Moon is my favorite of the Twilight books.
I think you're right. I think me too.
Isn't that interesting?
But there is no Edward in Italy to be found.
Well, I think Jamie is gonna see the sun for a little bit, unfortunately, before this is all over, I think. But
I almost used, never mind. I really wanted to.
You're like, can I be like, sir, you're breaking your own law.
There is no king, there is no queen, there is no law in this land.
All right, let's get to it, y'all.
Okay, so scene 1. First of all, Easter egg puppets.
Okay, can we talk about that? What do you think that means?
The puppets?
I mean, what we find out is that it's like just another one of these acts that people like do, you know, in these towns are way entertaining. I really need to move to Scotland so I can like live in a town where they have puppet shows and like sing 40 songs and, have dancing.
You better take your ass through the stones because you need to be in 18th century Scotland.
I know, right?
If you go to Scotland now, you're going to see Banana Republic.
Dude, you get the Edinburgh Festival in August, a whole month of all sorts of creative crap. It's really good.
Lots of marionettes.
So what do you think they meant?
I don't know. I mean, on the surface, it's like, Claire and Murtaugh sing for their supper,
Well, in the Easter egg, one of them blows up. I don't think it blows up when they're actually performing it, later on in the episode.
The whole thing blows up in their face when the dude steals their act.
Good point. Like it. Because and it's a girl too. I think the one that blows up is a girl, and then the two other ones are like also girls, but they're like, they look alike.
Someone wanted to get in on the action tonight.
Oh. Okay. Since he wasn't in the episode, he feels left out. Okay. So, so Carol took notes, so she is going to lead this recap. But except I took notes for a little bit.
Yeah, but you're going to yell at me because I don't write down about every single scene like you do.
Well, all right. Can we talk about the opening scene where Ian is uncharacteristic? Why can't I say that word? Uncharacteristically having a like bitch freak out.
Ian's sitting there all. Wait, look, I can use this. Ian's sitting there all, I've got to do something.
What I have written down is Ian needs a Valium. Because Ian's like this, with, his arm in a sling, and, like, no leg. He's got, like, stumpage. I don't know if you can see that. And he's like, oh,
Yeah.
Claire, let me just gather my strength and I'll be on the road with you.
Okay, first of all, I can't believe you haven't said it yet. I have this written down, bad Claire line number 1. I intend to get my husband back.
Wait, I have written down better, which is there was about 15 seconds, 20 seconds of dialogue in this part that was, like, written by, like, whoever wrote, like, Penelope Pitstop, basically. Here's what I wrote down. Ian needs a Valium. I'll gather my strength. Ha, ha, ha. Then Claire says, besides what you just said, she says, you're missing a leg.
Oh, damn it, you stole my line. I was going to say that next.
The best one.
All I could think of was, I'm from the future. And first he says, I don't know what you intend to do. And she says, I intend to get my husband back. And then the second bad Claire line number 2 is, you're missing your leg. And next to that I have, no
Thank
shit,
you, Captain
Sherlock.
Obvious.
Boy, Claire, somebody give her a prize.
But the best line is then Ian goes, and I can't do the Scottish accent very well, but he's like, because I wrote it down, our land is in the clutches of the English. And then I wrote down, and then they cut to Penelope tied to the tracks.
Penelope Pitstop, heiress to a vast fortune, is in perpetual peril from her fortune-seeking guardian, Sylvester Sneakley, who, unknown to her, is really the Hooded Claw.
That was so, you must pay the rent. I can't pay the rent. You must pay the rent. I can't pay the rent. You must pay the rent. I can't pay the rent. I'll pay the rent. My hero. Curses.
I totally am with you.
Only 15 seconds. So
I'm totally with you. But then, how about how, when I first saw it, and Claire's like, no, because that would put the lad of Lollybrock in danger. And I'm paraphrasing. And Jamie would not want you to do that. And Ian's like, Ian's like, you're right. And I'm like, when I watched it, I was like, oh my God, that's so true. Jamie wouldn't want him to. Then when I watched it again, I was like, Claire just trots her ass to Lollybrock for like 10 days, and she's now going to tell Ian what Jamie would want them to do, and Jamie's going to go, yeah, you're right.
I think they were there a little longer. That's the impression I got. But I swear that it was so weird. It was like there was an intern, the writer's room intern had been like getting coffee for 6 months. And the writers were like, I feel really bad for Joey the intern because he really thought he was going to actually do something, this season. And he's just really gotten us coffee. All right. Who votes? Let him write a couple lines. Okay. All right, Joey, here you go. Write this little scene with Claire and
I intend to get my husband back. Okay.
Oh my God.
Okay.
So funny. All right.
See, now the next thing I skipped to is Jenny's praying and I'm crying.
Oh my God. Oh my God. You skipped Jenny. Well, first of all, can we just talk about
what?
The badass that is named Janet Fraser Murray. We just need to spend a minute in tribute to her because she comes out of there. She's so badass, I don't know what to do with myself. I should be drinking my Hellraiser beer instead of this, wimpy shardy in celebration of Jenny and her badassery.
Let's make a shardy called Wimpy Shardy.
Jenny would not be drinking wimpy shardy. No way. Jenny would be drinking, yes, exactly. Jenny would be drinking,
and my girl would have 2 fingers, baby.
Jenny is a badass to end all badasses. I'm telling you right now. She comes out of that house with one pistol down her JJ and the other pistol down her crack. And I'm
And the other pistol down Claire's vajayjay.
And I'm like, okay, this bitch ain't kidding. This bitch ain't kidding. She is ready to go.
Well, she's Jamie's sister.
It was totally Jenny, get your gun. And get out of there.
And she explained that they taught her because she'd spit in their food if they didn't.
You know, and she's like that in the book too, but like, oh my God, Jenny in the TV show, I can't say enough about her. I cannot say enough about Laura Donnelly. I cannot say enough about that character.
Agree. But thank God, because what the hell is Claire going to do out there?
I know, right? Well,
Claire's like, I'm the only one going to find my husband.
I have to find my husband.
Like, girl, you need some help out there.
Yeah, but she admitted that. She's like, yeah, she was totally right. And I would, like, totally, like, die after about a day out there.
True.
Although I could build this very nifty fire log thing.
Yeah.
This fire log contraption.
All right, what comes
so
before
she was
Jenny?
So awesome. I could go on forever about Jenny.
Let's not.
All right, but okay.
Jenny praying, me crying.
So yeah, they find the people, the buzzards. Oh, how about that buzzard stuff?
Okay.
Boy, the prosthetics guys had to work overtime for this episode.
Because next I have bird eating eyes. Gross.
Yeah, it was totally. I have ick instead of gross.
This show. First of all, I was just out, and we were all discussing at one point Outlander and how it is just so trailblazing. They do things that you just don't see. That bird pecking away at the eyes of the dead guy.
I know.
I was like, oh my God, who would do this? This is awesome. Then,
to circle back to what you said, I loved the Jenny praying thing. Like, I thought that was really, here's Jenny, badass of the century, rivaling, like, the female version of Clint Eastwood, and she's praying for their souls. Even as she's gonna, like, you know, ransack them and, like, you know,
right,
use them however she can. I love her so much. I don't know what to do with myself.
Right. It was like I was taken back to St. Norbert's and we were getting ashes. Like, dust to dust.
Oh, okay. I gotcha.
And then I have, this freaked me out. When this happens, I want to know how Ron Moore is reading my mind. Like,
Did you tell him in the elevator?
You know, maybe we had that conversation in between Dougray Scott and his presence that should be on Outlander, and I don't know what else we talked about.
Or maybe you told Third Sister Jill, and Third Sister Jill told Ron when Ron tapped her on the shoulder at the the red carpet. And,
Ron Moore did have a conversation with Third Sister Jill. So, but I have written down, and this is what I turned to Tom while we were watching, and I said, this forest is exactly how I pictured it while I was reading. Those pathways that sort of go through that they ride their horses on. Then when they show like the wide shot of what did Diana used to call it? The crag, the rocky terrain and the mountains. I mean, I'm like, get out of my mind.
It was all like that.
Me out. I've never in my life seen anything like this where they knew I think, again, it's just a compliment to Diana Gabaldon, who is so incredibly detailed and really busts on herself for it when she, speaks at various events, and she kind of makes fun of herself for, that she goes on and on. She talks about how she's in the grocery store and what she's going to make for dinner and blah, 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 and she goes on and on. She is so descriptive that these people had the exact same thought as I did, because she's so amazing the way she describes the entire thing. There's not one time that you don't know what it looks like.
Right.
So then I have that it looks exactly the same. Then I have, with many exclamation points afterward, prosthetic boob.
I have boob prosthetic.
She's like,
I cannot believe that they went there. I think that was CGI. I think that there's some, like, I don't know. I don't think that's a prosthetics boob. I think that
prosthetic boob because it was.
No, that was a strap-on boob.
I call it the mammary gland.
Well,
That
either
wasn't-
way,
I'm like,
spitting. Unless Laura Donnelly is lactating.
No, I think she probably took her boob, went like this, and they CGI'd the milk coming out. That's what I think.
I think it was. They did look very real. Like,
I was just like, at this point, I mean, at that point, I already thought like Jenny was like the biggest badass that ever walked the face of the earth.
Right.
But now I'm like, okay, she's packing guns in her vajayjay, and she's shooting shit out of her boobs.
Well,
Like,
let me tell you something.
this is like some sort of like, graphic novel heroine for like the 21st century here.
Yes.
I mean,
Let me tell you something. Remember how last week I said about the birth, and I said, "Oh dear God!" So many times you watch a movie or a TV show, and the birth is so stupid that you're like, "Oh please, this is nothing like childbirth."
mm-hmm.
And last week's episode was so real when she was crawling around on all fours, like trying to come up with a good position. So totally real, right? So then we get to this week and her doing that, and I'm thinking to myself, does she have kids? Because the moaning alone that came out of her when she was like, "Oh," it is so true. And just like releasing the milk, like you're like, "Oh, thank God." Like she made me relive it. Okay, my youngest is oh dear God, how old's my youngest? Is 10.
8, 9, 10, something
10
like
years since I've done that, and yet I was right back again. There I was. Ow!
that. I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, well. It was funny, too. Oh, well. Maybe I'll think of it another time. No, that was just... But I was just like... is there nothing Jenny can't do? I need to find a way that she can be a superhero and be in, like, the Avengers or something, but her power is, like, shooting shit with her boobs. Don't you think?
Abso-freaking-lutely. And next I have Murtaugh.
No, I have a little bit before that.
What?
First of all, I have Thelma and Louise.
I don't think he's gonna apologize. Nah, I don't think so.
Oh, Claire and her whole, like, getting upset that they were going to have to kill that guy.
Oh.
How awesome was Jenny when she was all like...
Well, okay, this is what I wrote down, right? I think that when Jenny was telling the story about her time with Blackjack Randall upstairs, in all that went down, she left out the part where Blackjack Randall was like, "Before I, like, try to rape you, I'm going to give you some torture tips, okay?" If you really want to get somebody to do something for you, you, like, take the poker and you put it in the fire and you threaten to, like, you like, put it on their foot. And then you threaten to put it other places, too. Got that? Okay, let's go back to the raping and stuff. Because, like, hello? What the hell? Like, when did she turn into Zero Dark 30?
She knows what she's doing, girl. And Zero Dark 30, that chick had makeup on. That was the stupidest
she
thing.
didn't do the torture. She was like, she knew some
stupidest
people
a
who did.
word? I don't think stupidest is a word. So
No,
I
the
sound
most stupid.
I sound pretty stupid saying stupidest.
No,
But-
it's most stupid.
Seriously, Jenny, girl, she's a Highlander. She's a Highlander bitch.
No, and that, but that's an example of a difference from the book. That whole little. I don't think they came across a courier or anything like that. I don't think they like actually threatened somebody like that. But certainly none of this waterboarding or anything was going on at all. But I thought it was great, and I was like so on the edge of my seat about it. Say what?
Are we back to Zero Dark 30?
Yes. Well, waterboarding in general, that's pretty much like 21st century torture. And since we've already established that Jenny is a 21st century graphic novel superhero, in another life.
I was pretty impressed with Joe Redcoat that he took so much of that foot torture.
I was too. I almost started to wonder if like Joe Redcoat really like knew anything to tell. I don't know.
But don't you think at that point he'd be like, "Don't know." He was like, "Ow, I'm not going to tell you, ow."
But anyway.
And you know what? My worlds are totally colliding. Not that it's the right time period. It's, what are we talking now, 1743?
Yeah.
So I'm about a little over 30 years off, but we also watch Turn, which is one of the best shows on TV. So I'm watching this and I'm going, too many red coats in my life.
I know. I get them all confused. They just
You should be watching Turn, Tracy.
I tried watching Turn. I did 3 episodes. Both
Tracy,
my husband and I, and
you
it was
need to take your ass back to Turn.
What? It
is so good.
What?
I am obsessed with that show.
I don't want to talk about Turn. Do we have to?
Okay, can we get back to Murtaugh coming
So, yes, I have written down sorry, you guys. But, Murtaugh.
Yeah, baby.
With, 17 exclamation points after it. Again, everyone's been like, where's Murtaugh? Why hasn't he appeared? Why hasn't he appeared? That's why, bitches. Because he was going to appear to save the day.
Yeah, he needed to make himself an entrance.
That's right. Uh-huh.
And we couldn't figure out what was that he went and fetched for dinner. Was that a bird? Was that a fowl of some sort?
I think it was a fowl of some sort.
Was that fowl or was that like a rabbit? I couldn't tell.
I don't know. Something just rattled in the next room. Ooh. I think it was a bird of some sort. A fowl of some sort.
And
perhaps a pheasant. I don't know.
How about how he shows up with it and they're like,
what, do you expect us to skin that?
And he's like this. Like, fine, I'll do it. And I'm like, oh my God, the women folk would have to do that if this was true 18th century, baby.
No. Janet Fraser Murray don't have to do anything. Because if you haven't gathered it by now, she's the queen of badassery. She's queen of I have to think of the Isle of badassery.
My girl can't sit down because she's got guns in her pants.
Oh my God, no matter which way she goes. She's got to be careful whatever she does.
Right.
Because there's a gun in the front and a gun in the back. Oh, so awesome.
Okay, so. Now, I have something written down, but you're going to tell me I jumped too far.
All right, what?
Oh my God, the future. Potatoes.
Oh no, you're about at the same time.
I was almost in tears with that.
I was in tears.
Oh.
The Claire Jenny goodbye made me cry. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And Claire being so raw and going there and trusting Jenny enough to tell her. And I love when Jenny was like, Jamie told me you were going to start talking gibberish.
Mm.
And he told me to believe you.
Mm. Well, how about this part with the whole Claire, you can how to use a knife and yay for Katrina because she like that whole you saw that whole when she had to use a knife before go through her mind. Do you remember?
Say this again.
Jenny gives her the skin do, and she's like, "Do you know how to use the knife?" And Claire's like, "Yeah, I know how to use a knife."
Oh yeah,
I loved that. That was so great.
Guys,
so great. She's like, "Oh yeah, I know how to use the knife." Do you doubt me, bitch? Do you doubt me?
Bitch, please.
I know, right? Every other line with those two should just be that. Bitch, please.
Do you ever do this in your notes? All of a sudden I have don't remember the and nothing else.
Oh yeah. I don't remember half of I actually typed them out this time. But then I remembered my printer was broken.
Notes.
Say what?
You typed your notes.
I did. Because I was taking them because last night when I talked to you, you were like, you're not going to have time to watch it again. So I was like, oh, the pressure's on. So I started taking a little bit of notes the first time I watched it, which I hate doing. I like to watch the first time clean and not think about anything and just enjoy it.
Guess what? I do too, but tough bitch, we don't have time.
We're very potty mouthed in this episode of my Outlander Purgatory.
We've been out on the town.
Okay. So it's a great scene. Plant potatoes. I love
Jenny's gone.
Jenny kisses her, and that's very meaningful because she's finally like seeing her for the good sister that she is.
And Tom pointed out that in the last episode, Jenny, I think it was the last episode, Claire kissed Jenny, and he said,
Jenny was like, "Back off."
Yeah, with the elephant
with
tusk.
the Wonder Woman bracelets.
The what? Yes. and Tom made the point of saying that Jenny was sort of like. So it was very sweet.
Again, what did she say, people? Bitch, please.
Bitch, please.
Oh my god. All right, so off Jenny goes, and now it is time. It's time for the Murtaugh and Claire show.
Okay. That music. Now, Tracey, you're not allowed to roll your eyes, and you're not allowed to be like, I watch that. Because a lot of Outlander fans do. I have written down, oh my God, so Monarch of the Glen music. When Murtaugh and Claire are riding through the countryside, where's Archie? Because when they were riding, when they show the horses going, and they show like the amazing Scottish landscape in the back, and that like music was...
I like the music. It was good.
It was so Monarch of the Glen. It made me say, that's it. I need to watch all 7 seasons all over again.
I really, we have not given Bear McCreary enough like kudos in these videos, and
okay, Bear McCreary. First of all, you don't watch Walking Dead.
I do watch other television shows, though. People,
the anxiety,
because you wouldn't think so.
The music in Walking Dead captures the anxiety so well. It's incredible. So that's Bear McCreary. Then we have Lack Sales. Okay, that Carol is a massive fan of that music. I remember Karen Henry saying she wasn't too into the music in Black Sails. Right. And we had this conversation, and she loves the Outlander music. I love the Black Sails music, I have to say. So, Bear is the man. How did he get the name Bear?
It's like Bear Bryant. That's a good like $10,000 pyramid question. Like, things that are named Bear. Okay, Smokey the. Okay. Anywho, so all right. For some reason, at some point in all of this, I thought to myself that Katrina Balfe was really reminding me of like Minnie Driver for some reason. In this, just totally aside.
In what way?
Just, I don't know, she had some line and it was like right out of Good Will Hunting. I don't know what it was, but maybe if I watch it a third or fourth time, I'll get it. And
I'm thinking Circle of Friends.
God, I don't even remember that movie. I love Good Will Hunting though. I'll watch that all day. So I definitely like remember stuff that she's done.
How about them apples?
All right. So, just the whole, again, this part of the book, like I'm saying, is just like a little odd because it's kind of unexpected, but it was kind of the same way with the show, but it worked so well. The Murtaugh dancing was hilarious. He was so good.
And they hated him.
What? You hated him?
The crowd.
Oh, the crowd hated him because he was bad. His bad dancing was good. And Carol knows a thing about not quite Scottish dancing, but Irish dancing because she used to do it. Maybe she'll give us a demonstration right now.
Hop 1, hop 2, hop 1, 2, 3, 4.
Show us, Carol.
I can't believe I'm doing this.
You have to go back so we can see your legs.
This isn't scripted.
This
is 4 bucks I get. Shuffle,
we
up 3, up 2, 1 heel, 1 fall, hop back, 2, 3, step, kick, hop back, shuffle, up 3, shuffle, up 3, hop 2.
Put those arms next to you. You look like you're tap dancing.
Hop, 1 fall, hop back.
Straight arms. Someday, Carol and I will actually see each other on Sunday. So.
Did I just Irish dance on camera?
Yeah, you did. Should I tap dance to be even? Because I do know how to do that.
Ball change?
Wait. Thank you. Thank you. I just stepped on something on my phone.
Please cut all of that out. Every
Are you
last
kidding? That's gold.
Right.
That's gold. Bitches be gold.
Okay. So
right.
Claire, how'd you like the whole situation? Oh, it broke my heart. Where she was first of all the Bugle Boy. That whole song, I was like,
it's like, well, I mean, clearly that's like the only 1940 song that anyone knows. So,
oh my God, you're not kidding.
so
Then how'd you like how she picked the song and she's singing this song and he's nowhere.
And let me ask you this. I have a feeling, are we supposed to know what the words are of what she's singing? Because I will freely admit that I don't, but I have a feeling that maybe they're like, it's like a Robert Burns poem. But
well,
then
she changed
maybe
it.
not. Because,
Aberdeen.
What? Because Murtaugh says at one point that his father or Dougal or somebody used to sing it like when he was drunk. Or like sing the words with a different
I thought it was
tune.
Brian.
Or was it Brian?
Yeah.
But like, so Murtaugh had heard the words before.
Right.
But what I was thinking was that it was maybe like some famous Robert Burns poem. And like, you know, I just didn't know it, but maybe like you were supposed to know it. And that's part of the joke, whatever. Because there were a lot of jokes like that. Like Claire was all, like, how about the, this was a little awkward, I have to say. I'm not sure I would have kept it in if I were them. With the whole, Murtaugh's like, oh, what is he going to do? Fly there? And Claire's like, not yet. What? Never mind. Like that's,
I don't think I caught that. I need to watch it again.
Really? No, Murtaugh's, they're having something about like, how will Jamie find us or wherever, and Murtaugh says, is he going to, what, is he going to fly through the air? And Claire's like, not yet. And Murtaugh's like, what? And she's like, never mind.
How about Claire and Murtaugh and the poignancy of Murtaugh talking about Ellen?
Oh, well, I have a few more questions before we get there. Sorry. But I think this is probably the last thing I really took notes on. So you're going to have to drive the notes.
All right, let's go.
Okay. So, yes, Claire's faux pas, like the jazz thing was funny. All that stuff was funny. And I thought she was cute as a button, as I like to say.
In her Annie Hall costume?
Well, okay, this is the thing that I want to know. Like, was that a thing? Like, I think they saw, like, okay, my question was, were they supposed to know she was a girl? And I think they were. I think it was just like that's how, like, female hobos dress or something. Like, that was supposed to be,
I'm going to be honest.
They were undercover. I
didn't really understand it. I just thought it was cute.
I thought it was funny, yeah. But that was like, the guy was kind of like, don't they know she's a girl? And I thought maybe that they were trying to, like, pass her as a guy for a while. But then when they came upon the gypsies copying them, that was clearly a woman too. So I was like, oh, right, maybe they just know, and it's like they're supposed to be like beggars, so they're wearing men's clothes because,
I don't know.
And she can't afford her finery. But that whole sequence, yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think people are going to be like, that was just weird, but I loved it. I loved it. She was adorable. Katrina was absolutely adorable in that. She was like just like awkward. I don't know if she's a good singer, like, for real, but she was just awkward enough to be believable in this.
She was cute.
Yeah, it was totally adorable. So they, the gypsies steal their identity, and they're all pissed. I also liked, if you watch it and you hold, there's like a playbill or something of them. Because I was wondering how the gypsies knew that they called her Sassenach.
They had a sign.
Right. And I didn't get that the first time. I got that.
Yeah, they had a sign that said Sassenach.
Uh-huh.
And that was so mad that they stole it. I realized that. I'm like, oh, they stole it from them. And there's nothing they can do about it.
That's right. Nothing they can do. So she pulls out the bracelets. Murtaugh tells that story, and it's a lovely story. And, I mean, you probably guessed that it was Murtaugh that, had the secret love for Ellen.
Well, you're right. I didn't think about people who didn't read it. We know that, but
yeah, well, because Jenny was like, we said this last week. Jenny was like, oh yeah, these were my mom's bracelets, and somebody gave them to her who loved her very much, but she never would say who it was. And we're like, because we're not going to find out that for the rest of the time. She's just saying
right.
That
and I kind of feel like that was also very poignant. That I think that meant a lot to him that she still had them.
Mm-hmm.
And that she gave them. How did Jenny get them?
Well, they were her mother's. So when her mother died,
I thought he was very taken with them.
He was twitched. What?
I got to tell you off camera.
Okay.
Something about Aunt Honey.
I know. That's what I was imitating.
And you never know. Okay, sorry, we're doing. So let me.
I thought that was really not lovely. I did say okay, Claire. It was let's make a deal where he starts talking about these bracelets, and Claire's like, oh wait a minute, wait.
I know.
You mean these? And I was like, did she take everything she owns on the road? But then I was like, oh,
You mean these ugly ass bracelets?
Then I was like, she probably did. That little sack of hers probably has everything she owns.
It probably does. Okay, so here's the deal.
All right, so you have to take the recapping from here on in because that was my last note.
Okay, I have written down awesome Murtaugh story and jig, and I noticed that when they hugged, was it on purpose that they showed both her rings? Because I think it's very deliberate, a lot of the things they do, a lot of the shots. Mm-hmm. And she hugged him. It was so sweet. The whole thing, I was like, she's going to hug him. And then they showed both her rings. And I was like, is that significant in any way? Or is that she just happens to have both arms around him? I don't know.
It could have a little bit of a many loves kind of a meaning.
Right.
I don't know. I don't ever get the sense that Ellen was, and you don't really in the books. You don't ever see this firsthand or whatever. But I don't ever get the sense that Ellen even bandied for a second the idea of Murtaugh as a suitor.
No. But she loved him. I think she loved him like family.
Right.
How about when Murtaugh was like, Jamie is my son? Oh my God.
That whole scene was so great.
Just absolutely killed me.
Okay.
Okay, so the gypsy, I'm sorry, Claire, did you just graduate from dumbass school? She gives every last dime to the gypsy. Okay.
You never bought a car, Claire?
Okay, but not only that, she didn't have a regular upbringing. She was brought up by Uncle Lamb on the lamb. Somebody with that kind of an upbringing would know you don't trust anybody, and you certainly don't give them all your hard-earned money.
What the hell was that all about? I know. Give them half.
I mean, I think that it just was supposed to show just how desperate she is to get Jamie back, and that she's not even thinking clearly. She's on Survivor right now. She's not sleeping.
She's not eating.
She's not eating except for the occasional rice that they might her way.
She has to do all these challenges. Jeff Probst is being aka Murtaugh is being all mean to her.
Yeah, they throw her the occasional chum, aka white rice grains. Mm-hmm. And she's doing the challenges, all the stuff, and it's just the breakdown is coming.
Yep.
And that's what you see on Survivor, and that's what I'm seeing with Claire right now, because I can't think of any other reason such an intelligent woman would hand over all of her money.
Do you still watch Survivor?
No. I mean, every once in a while. But
I love Survivor. I do watch that all the time.
Here's the deal. Yeah. Here's Jenny when they left. Here's the money from the rent. And my girl Claire just gives every dime over to the gypsies.
Yeah.
That made
ill-advised, Claire. Ill-advised.
Yeah, that made zero sense to me. But when they met back up with the gypsies again, and she, is pressing him to tell her what's going on and what he knows, And at first, I didn't really understand what made him turn and decide to fess up. Because she's all, you need to tell me. And he's all, I'm not telling you squat. And then he's like, all right, he's over there. You know what I mean?
She shamed him into it.
I thought that the gypsy kiss was very sweet. I liked the humanity you see in her reaching over and kissing him. I could really relate to that. I was like, that's sort of how I am in life. Like, I just don't have time or the inclination to be mean to people and be, you know what I mean? Like, it's not worth it. Even though she gave him all her money, even though he stole from her, it's not worth it. Turn the other cheek. Do you agree?
See, I mean, I don't know that I would have been I don't know that I would have been that trusting of him and forgiving of him. I mean, I get it. I get that I get that she's, like, totally desperate and, like, grasping at straws here. But, like, this dude just, like, effed her over before. And, like, she gave him everything she owns. What's to say that, like, why should she believe what he says?
Right. But she does believe what he says.
But it is just Claire. I mean, Claire sort of, I don't know. Like she needs something to hope for. She needs something to have faith in right now. And everything's looking really bleak. But
perhaps what she needed to hope for was the Trump Taj Mahal cave of Dougal's.
Okay, now I have to say, and again, I have not taken any more notes, so I'm a little fuzzy on things because I watched it late last night. I think it's really sucky that, like, clearly if you don't know we knew who it was. We knew it was in the cave. We knew it was not Jamie in the cave. But if you've never read the book, I would think that would be a fairly big surprise. Like, that's a fairly good reveal, right? Except for the fact that they've chosen to list in the credits, like, other than Katrina and Sam, all the other cast members are only listed when they're in the episode. So when I was thinking that as I watched that, I was like, I wonder if you didn't know he was coming, like, this would have been a good surprise. But I bet he appears in the beginning of the episode. I bet, Graham McTavish's name is in there. And so you're going to know to expect Dougal in the episode at some point. And it's like, it's like 5 minutes left at this point. Like, of course it's going to be him. So I would like to hear from people in the comments, like, did that distract you? Did the fact that he was in the opening credits, like, make you less surprised that he shows up in the cave? Or do you expect him to be in the cave anyway?
Okay, I think I need to do a poll on the blog because I'd love to know exactly the percentage of people, especially people watching this right now, who've made it this far. But I'd like to know how many people have actually read all the books, or at least read through Outlander, because I tend to assume that most people knew that was going to be Dougal in that cave. Mm-hmm. Now, when I'm reading it, I'm picturing this cave, regular cave, mm-hmm. not the Nordstrom cave. Okay, not picturing the Bergdorf cave, because and she did make it a point to say, oh, your Jacobite cause and all this stuff that he's got in there, but I'm like, okay, did we just walk through, like, 3 hallways?
I know, right? That's like the longest cave in creation.
I'm just going to tell... Oh, I can't say that. That's a spoiler. Okay, all right, I'll believe you this time. But if there's any more caves in the future, I don't want to be seeing, like, I don't want to be seeing, like, Grand Central Station cave.
It's like the 3rd floor walk up where, like, you've got, like, a big long hallway because you've got the back room apartment.
I mean, you are not kidding. I was like, where are we? Are we back at Leon? Like, what?
But I think, now tell me this. All that crap was in the cave, like, in the book. Like, she walks into the cave and there's all that, like, crap for Charlie, right?
I couldn't even remember, but I just know that was no cave. That was a multi-million-dollar celebrity home in Brentwood.
So anyway, so Dougal and Claire have their little scene. Very interesting. Very interesting how they left that.
I have shite. Dougal, effing sweet cave. That shit's nicer than my house.
Oh my god, you're obsessed with the cave.
Okay. Go ahead. He said, look me in the eye and tell me I'm wrong.
I know.
I wanted her to spit in his eye.
I totally did too. I wanted her to, she looked in the eye and I wanted her to be like, you know.
But let me ask you a question, because at this point in the book, I'm like, I can't hate Dougal Mackenzie more than I do at this very moment. Mm-hmm. And yet in the show, I was there was a part of me that was like, he's right. Like,
well, he made a good argument. I mean,
yeah, and I even agreed when he said, and Jamie would agree or whatever he said, I can give you protection, and Blackjack Randall is not going to get his hands on you, but you know what I mean? You have to marry me and I can give you protection. And I thought, and he said, and Jamie would agree with me and Jamie would tell you the same thing. And I was like, I think he's right.
I mean, I think he is. I think he's right.
Jamie would be like, if they're going to kill me, go marry Dougal because he'll protect you. Or.
No, he wouldn't.
Or
you know what? He's wrong.
Or would Jamie tell her to do something else?
I think that if Jamie thought that he was going to die there, he would not tell her to marry Dougal. I think he would be like, go back to Frank.
Okay. Fair enough.
That's what I think.
That's what I was wondering about.
Sorry,
but in the book, did my girl agree to marry Dougal?
No. In the book, your girl was like, yeah, bite me, Dougal.
That's what
I'm
thought.
Taking your man and I'm going to find my man.
I have written down, did she just offer to marry Dougal?
And that's where I want to say, yeah, in the book, she tells him where to go. She did agree. She's like, all right, yeah, you're right. If something happens to Jamie, yeah, I'll marry you. It's all good, whatever. I'm wondering if, in the show, if that's going to come back to bite her in the butt. For whatever reason. I don't know. Very interesting. Very interesting. I don't know. Don't bite Jamie in the butt. It's going to be bite Claire in the butt.
I'm doing my Lottie
impression. She bet pocket Jamie.
Wait, this is my better side.
Yeah, so that was a great scene.
I loved that scene. I loved it more in the show than I did while I was reading it.
Yeah, no, I mean, they're very cat and mouse, like the cat, sometimes one's the cat, the other's the mouse, sometimes the other one's the cat, and the other one's the mouse. It's very good.
Rupert and Angus, back on the scene.
Back on board. We missed our boys. And I feel just a little better about everything that might or might not be to come because I have my boys by my side. The boys are back in town.
Okay, so and then they go through their whole arguing and then they agree to help. Mm-hmm. And it's only Claire, Murtaugh, Rupert, Angus, and that dude Willie.
Oh, Willie. Can we talk about Willie for a second? How cute is that? I knew he was going to be the first to volunteer. You totally knew. But, good for him. Sweetie.
Adorbs.
Adorbs. Totally adorbs.
Totes adorbs.
I know, but I thought that too. I thought you would have sort of unnamed mystery dudes with them. But no, it's just Willie, Angus, and Rupert. And
everyone else just took the hell off.
I know, right?
Where'd they go?
I don't know. I mean, I honestly don't remember how it goes down in the books. I think, I think people know at this point that Angus is not a big deal in the books. Rupert is a big deal, but Angus is like Colum's right hand man, and he lives at the castle.
Yeah.
So it's really
it was, and we're right back down to Breaking Dawn too, man. The scary Irish dude's leaving, but Lee Pace is gonna stick around.
Nah, don't even think to compare it to Breaking Dawn 2 because that
I'm kidding. I'm trying to be funny.
that movie sucked so bad. But so like all the the extra dudes.
I just wanted to mention Lee Pace.
I don't really remember which one he was, but I don't know. It's a big bad blur in my head. So all right, so I haven't recapped any. I haven't written down any of this, but they basically go and they see Wentworth, right? Or did I miss anything?
And tell me that wasn't the most menacing thing you have ever seen.
Carol.
What?
Carol.
Can you hear me?
Carol.
What?
Hold me.
I thought you couldn't hear me.
No, hold me.
Tracey.
Yes.
I turned to Tom and I was like, do you see that? I was like, the toll booth. Look it up. Google it.
It's not the Phantom toll booth. It's not no little boy like going through the toll booth and having adventures. It's bad.
I was like, go and Google it because, and I act like he's read it, so he knows what's coming too. At least it's only going to be one episode.
We hope.
Now we have to be careful for those of you who have not read it.
No, we shouldn't say anything about that because it's,
but
we don't know what's coming because we know what's coming in the book. We don't know what's going to come in the TV show.
True.
We do not know.
True.
We do not know.
True.
So, but I loved that this episode, because I was with you in that I thought that maybe in this episode we were going to start, like that they were going to cram all of that stuff, all of this episode into like the first half, and then the second half we would be having a lot of stuff at Wentworth, and at least maybe some of the prep work, or whatever they might have to plan they're going to put in place or whatever.
They didn't.
But we didn't. And it was just it was a calm before the storm episode. And I just loved it more than I can tell you. I loved every minute of it.
Not one glimpse of James Alexander, Malcolm Mackenzie.
I know.
Which was awesome. I would not have had it any other way. It was great.
Is it wrong to say I didn't miss him for a second? I'm sorry,
I missed him the whole time.
I'm sorry. I didn't.
I missed him. I missed him the whole time, but it was necessary.
Well, yeah. I mean, I missed him in terms of, like, I don't want anything bad to happen to him, but, like, I never thought, like, Jamie's not in this episode, and I can't, like, look at his hot bod. That means it sucks. Like,
okay.
I wasn't thinking that at all.
But you know what freaked me out? I was right back to reading the book when Dougal was like, they're going to kill him, whatever he said, today or tomorrow. And he's all, Claire, can I talk to you for a minute? And Claire's like, Murtaugh's like, and Claire's like, and I'm like, no, you can't talk to me. I've got to go. I would be tearing out of that Taj Mahal cave like nobody's business.
I know. Yeah, totally good episode. Totally good. I don't even know. So next week, like, I was saying to Carol that I want to make a video of us just watching it. Like, we'll Skype or something and watch it at the same time, and just like video us reacting to it.
I would totally do it, and it would be a good video, but I can't. I know. I am already freaking out about this.
But, well, let me give you some good news. Well, I shouldn't say it's good news. Did you know no Outlander on Memorial Day weekend? The season finale is the next weekend. And for, like, our friends who recap the episodes, like Scott and Sassenach, and Outlander Cast, and Outlander Pod, and Karen, Aaron and all of our friends who recap episodes are like that. Because we're on like episode 5 and we're tired.
We feel your pain. It does sort of like take a little away from it. We can't just enjoy the season. You know, there's a lot of planning that takes place. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of preparation. It's, you know, I often feel bad for actors because I'm like such a TV whore and I love sitting down and watching these episodes and I just sit there and it's awesome and I don't have anything to do with the set and the writing and the retakes and the this and the that. And I always feel bad for the actors, like Game of Thrones actors. It's such an amazing show, but I'm like, they probably don't even watch. Like, it's their job. It's not, they can't lose themselves in this fantasy world like the rest of us can. Well, but like the Outlander stuff, it's a little more difficult for us.
That's what I was saying last week, that like, it's hard. It really is hard to lose yourself in this show as somebody who's very familiar with the series and has read it a bunch of times.
Right.
It's much harder to lose yourself in that way than somebody who has never watched it, who has never read the books. Right. And then also, if you're watching it for a specific purpose, which is to like tell other people about it and share your thoughts, it also becomes hard, which is why going back to like my first watching always has to be the clean watch. That one is just for me.
Mine can't be because I'm too afraid, oh God, what if I don't get a chance to watch it again before we do the video?
That's why I took notes last
night. I watch like this.
So what else?
Some shout outs. I was thinking today.
Well, you know what I want to do? I want to do a video when the season is, because Carol, we have a year. And we need to give the people what they want. Okay.
Right. I don't know what they want, but I just want to throw a shout out to my girls, Hildy and JJ at thebookbosses.blogspot.com.
Oh, I love the Book Bosses. They're
Book
awesome.
Bosses, let me tell you guys, right now, if you guys want an awesome site that gives you spoiler-free reviews, they do mainly romance, but like, you know, like Outlander type of, not like, you know, they do all kinds of romance, but they do all different books. The Bronze Horseman is another one that they're very big into, and they've done a million gazillion reviews. Hildy and JJ at the Book Bosses. They're awesome.
We love the Book Bosses. No, I wanted to thank, and it's downstairs, but I will give you yours on Sunday when I see you for Mother's Day, and we'll take a picture. I wanted to thank at Kim Foley Sweeney on Twitter because she sent us like the best me gifty ever. Kim sent us these, and she's awesome, and they're so much fun. They're Outlander
flats. Are there two?
So yes, there's one for you, all over me. Oh my God, Carol didn't know, and it's like she just won the Showcase Showdown.
Was that English? Kim, you are awesome, because we didn't get them when we went to the premiere because we were freezing outside.
No, they had these at Paley Fest. I don't even know if they had them at the New York premiere.
I am so not complaining, but we were out in the freezing cold for 2 hours.
So
just to let you guys know, when you do those red carpet things, depending on what the climate is, it was like standing outside for 2 hours freezing and like 10 minutes of talking to the celebs.
But it was totally worth that 10 minutes.
But it was totally worth freezing.
But no, this is what I was going to say. I think it would be a lot of fun to do once the season is over, to do, and we've got some things planned too, but to do like a video just of people's questions. So like people can send in their questions on Twitter or Facebook or whatever, and we'll just do a video where we like answer people's questions.
Yeah, what did we think of this? What didn't we like? What we liked a lot? Blah, blah, blah. That would be so much fun. Like chat, kind of, but live.
Right. I totally
be awesome. I would totally do that.
Okay. I think we're done here. Thank you all for putting up with us. So visit us on outlanderpurgatory.com and like us on Facebook. Just search for Outlander Purgatory.
Yeah, come like us on Facebook, please.
Yeah,
like,
you know.
We've been around forever, the blog, what was it, like November 1st, 2009?
Mhm.
And like sometimes I get really discouraged about likes because some sites that just started like last year have like tons and tons of likes.
Yeah, so
We
like us on
don't,
Facebook.
we haven't paid for our likes, so we don't.
No,
What do we have, like 50?
we don't pay for anything, you know. We do this all for fun. Although I think like we need to explore doing it for like, you know, professionally, whatever. Does anybody want to give us a job doing this? Because I think we're pretty good at it, and you know, we would do it full time in 2 seconds. So
Okay, here's me. Dear people at Turn, Game of Thrones. They don't need us. Game of Thrones don't need us. Turn, halt and catch fire.
don't watch it.
Oh, God. 2 words. Lee Pace.
All right, we need to talk about him off the line. All right, Twitter at my Outlander Purg, Instagram, I think it's my Outlander Purgatory, but I'm not sure. YouTube, we're like you can search my Outlander Purgatory now, and we're on there because I just changed the URL so that we're actually like say what we are.
Yes.
And
Okay.
we will be back next week, you guys. I'm scared. Well, hold here, Carol, hold my hand.
I feel like Claire.
All right, you guys. Where'd she go? Did you go to bed?
I'm sorry, I just grabbed this out of my...
Okay, you're holding a knife on me. I'm scared. I'm really scared now. All right, you guys. Before anything bad happens, before Carol pulls a gun out of her for JJ, I think we should. I think we should sign off. Have a great week, and we'll see you next week. Bye. I just filmed that, right?
What?
You know, I just filmed that, right?
We need to go out every Thursday.
Oh, we can start
Slap it
now
up.
because I totally started filming already.
You could make a whole video. Oh, I put too much water in. Hang on. All right. You could make a whole video. I gotta turn this off. Of the differences of us evolving, learning to say slanjava.
Slante?
Slate?
Slangera. All right, are we ready? Because I'm already on, so I'll just start.